Hello everyone, I am Damien Geppetto. I have an amazing deck for you today. That is right, today is my favorite deck. It's an off-meta deck that is crushing standard, absolutely destroying everything from mono-red aggro on down to the pure control. So strap in, we got some thrilling encounters coming up. Version 2. Pretty simple what you see here. Nothing over 3 mana. This is an aggro deck, but it's also mid-range. It can be both. The whole premise behind this deck is very simple. We are going to double backups with the Mirror Shield Hoplite. And what is backup? Well, backup, when the creature goes onto the board, it gets to choose someone to add a +1/+1 counter, but it also adds its abilities. Yes, that's right. It adds its abilities, and that is the key for this deck here. We've got this Mirror Shield Hoplite, which nobody's using. And we got this Enduring Bond Warden and the Voldaren Thrillseeker. This is the key to the deck. You've probably seen this card before. You probably lost this card on an accidental, like, how did I lose that thing? That is the whole point of this deck. This Thrillseeker can put backup 2, which is 2 counters on any other creature, and if you have 1 mana up, whatever creature you gave those counters to till the end of turn can sacrifice itself. That's right. Put it on a big creature, attack, and then double your damage. Or if you use a Cacophony Scamp, it is triple damage if you make this Cacophony Scamp tall enough to where your opponent does not want to block. How many times they've been at 15 health, I get a Scamp to 5, they got a 3/3 to block, they go, whatever. If it dies, you could do 10. You do your 5, you don't proliferate, you use the ability of the Voldaren Sacrifice, which doubles the Scamp damage. You get to do whatever the Scamp power is, so in this example, 5 damage, and then the Scamp, whenever it dies, does its power as well, so you do another 5. You can triple damage on a turn with this deck. Nobody else is doing this, folks. Kumano Faces Kazan is one of the best red cards. It's just value at 1 mana. Comes in, does 1 damage. Next turn, a creature gets a +1. Okay, well, you know what that +1 counter's great with? Dusk Legion Duelist. Whenever one or more +1 counters are put onto a draw card once per turn, Kumano goes down turn 1. Legion Duelist gets a +1 counter before it hits the board. It hits the board with it on it. So if they have a cut down in their hand, they cannot use it. It's a 3/3, and the card draw is automatic. So if it hits the board, they can't use their cut down. You draw the card, go for the throat it. That's all right. You still get the card. We got 2 Invasions of Gobakhan. It's nice to look at your opponent's hand. This is also good because it's another +1ing thing. If you flip it into the enchantment, every creature that attacks gets a +1. Plus, it can also be sacrificed to give your creatures hexproof and indestructible. Obvious ossification at 4. Yeah, staple. We already went over the Mirror Shield Hoplite. Let's read this text to you. It is Vigilance. It's a 2/2 for 2 mana. 1 red, 1 white. Whenever a creature you control becomes the target of a backup ability, copy that ability. You may choose new targets for the copy. This ability triggers only once per turn. You throw out a Thrillseeker with backup 2, and the Hoplite's out. 1 Hoplite out means copy that backup 2. So you can do backup 4, you can put it on 2 different ones, or you can put 4 on 1, however you wish to distribute it. Now, you put 2 Hoplites out. That is copy twice. 3 times you can do that, and you get the picture. Agatha's Soul Cauldron is another +1 thing. The other great thing is it doesn't cost any mana. It's 2 mana to throw it down, but it doesn't cost any mana to tap it. You just exile a card. Every turn, you can exile 1 card. And if it's a creature, you +1 counter on any target creature you control. So on your opponent's turn, you can exile a card that's a creature and put a +1 counter on the duelist on the opponent's turn, so you can draw 2 cards a turn, 1 on your turn, 1 on your opponent's turn. That, in a Boros aggro deck, is pretty strong. And obviously, I got 4 Siege Veterans here because every turn it puts a +1 counter. So if the Legion Duelist is out there, obviously another, I'm going to draw a card every turn. We're going to make this Duelist into a Vigilance Beast. Stroke of Midnight. This is a new spell, and I love it. It's a 3 mana white spell that destroy target non-land permanent. Its controller creates a 1/1 white human creature token. Non-land permanent means ossifications, leyline bindings, anything that takes your stuff away or threatens you, like Virtue of Persistence. No, thank you. You're not going to keep putting creatures on the board every turn, but you can have a 1/1 human. How about that? Great card. 3 of those. That's a total of 7 control spells if you want to look at it that way. The 4 Voldaren Thrillseekers, which once again, 1 mana, sacrifices creature, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. There is a great combination where you have 5 mana out where you can throw a Bond Warden and a Thrillseeker out on the same turn. So it costs 4 mana to do those 2. You put them on the same creature and you sack that creature and all of its counters go on to somebody else because the Bond Warden, when it dies, puts its counters. So it's just amazing synergy and combos in this deck. You will see the action in the amazing video that's hitting it hard, and I'm going to link it at the end about me crushing the net deck sheep. Angel Fire Ignition, I got 2 of these. There's one of them also sitting in the sideboard. I had 3 in the deck and 2 Stroke of Midnights. I just switched it back. I kind of go between 3 Angel Fires, 2 Stroke of Midnights, 3 Stroke of Midnights, 2 Angel Fires, and that is all for the spells, folks. We got a couple Iganjos, we got Ahsoka-Zahn, but this is the manland. We got 4 of these. I invested rares for this, 4 of these Restless Bibiux, because 3 mana, it becomes a 2/2 red and white Ox creature. When it attacks, put a +1 counter on target creature you control. Just another +1 counter machine. We got 3 forges, and then I got a couple of pretty looking mountains, and then we got a couple cool looking plains. Total on the land is 20 in this deck. 3 mana or less in every spell. If you get 3 mana in your hand, you're good to go. You can cast everything in the entire deck. This runs as an aggro deck, but it's also got some meat to it. Kind of like a Selesnya enchantment in the sense that it can go tall as well, so it can stand up to the mid-range taller decks, and it even sometimes packs a punch against the control decks, since you could do damage without attacking. You can just sack and do damage. As you can see, 2.1 average on the deck, very much in the aggro range. 23 creatures, 3 instants, 2 sorceries, 2 artifacts, 8 enchantments, 2 battles, and like I said, 20 lands. Yeah, that's right. This is Thrilling Encounters version 2. This will win you games in Standard. I'm telling you right now, nobody sees it coming. So all you gotta do, click on that video that's up there right there. That's right. Click on that video, because I don't know which side it's on. I don't know where it's floating to, but yeah, you click on that thing. 6-game win streak. I don't even need to record separate game footage for this deck. That's how good it is. Boom. Have a nice day.